Ooh, look at this. Whoa, Wolf!
Hello guys, back again with NWXT Film. This time I will summarize the plot of the film titled DuckTales the Movie, which was released in the year 1990. This film tells the story about a duck who goes together with his 4 nephews to look for treasure. However, when that treasure is found, an evil sorcerer comes and takes all that treasure away. So how does the story continue? Let's go straight to the plot. The film begins with a plane that is flying brutally. It turns out the plane is piloted by an amateur pilot named Launchpad, where inside there is a duck named Uncle Scrooge, together with his 4 nephews, named Louie, Dewey, Huey, and Webby. Uncle Scrooge is traveling toward the Middle East to find a treasure chest belonging to the great thief named Collie Baba, which he has been searching for 40 years. However, in the middle of the road, the plane they boarded suddenly loses control. When the plane crashes and falls, 3 puppies working there approach them. Long story short, those 3 dogs help Uncle Scrooge in finding Collie Baba's treasure chest. However, when the chest is opened, there are only used clothes inside.
He stole clothes?
In the midst of his disappointment, suddenly Louie finds a treasure map. When Uncle Scrooge examines the map, seen from afar, someone is spying on them. It turns out the one spying on them is an evil sorcerer named Merlock. There, a dog named Dijon says that the treasure map was written directly by Collie Baba. Hearing that, Merlock immediately becomes very enthusiastic because he has been waiting for that treasure for centuries. However, it turns out Dijon did not bring the treasure map and instead stole a wallet, a watch, and several other items. Seeing that, Merlock becomes very angry.
You didn't steal it!
Merlock then asks regarding the contents of the map, and Dijon says that the map leads toward the desert. Hearing that, Merlock then has a plan where he will let them look for that treasure first and orders Dijon to become their guide. And after they find the treasure, only then will he take all that treasure. After that, Merlock immediately turns into a bird and leaves from there. Back to Uncle Scrooge, who is already in the middle of the desert. They then travel using camels. After a long journey, Uncle Scrooge says that the cave they were looking for has been found. However, it turns out all of that was just a mirage.
Not even a bird.
And when they walk, a jumping camel trips over a small pyramid. Curious, they then try to dig, until finally a large pyramid is seen. On the other side, Merlock is seen continuously spying on them again. Back to Uncle Scrooge, he then opens the entrance and lights a torch. And when they enter, it turns out there are many traps. Seeing the many hidden traps, Louie reads the guidebook where they are told to stay alert and must use marbles. After that, Dewey uses marbles to be able to pass every trap present. Although in the middle of the journey, Dijon, who acts smart, tries his own way until finally getting hit by the trap and making them all fall into the underground room. Upon their arrival there, a remaining marble then rolls and opens the treasure door. Seeing that, of course, Uncle Scrooge feels very happy.
Ooh, look at this. Whoa, Wolf!
As well as all his nephews. However, when Louie accidentally drops a coin, lots of scorpions are seen below.
Whoa, scorpion!
On the other side, Dijon, who gets a call from Merlock, then goes outside. Meanwhile, the magic lamp targeted by Merlock is asked for by Webby. Long story short, they take all that treasure. However, unfortunately, the treasure is seized by Dijon and Merlock. Seeing that, Uncle Scrooge does not stay silent, but unfortunately, Merlock instead burns the bridge and activates a button which makes them go down below.
Treasure you have found. Farewell!
Seeing that, Launchpad uses a large shell to take cover from scorpions and escapes through a river. Meanwhile, outside, Merlock continues to look for the magic lamp he desires. Knowing the magic lamp was taken by Webby, Merlock is very angry and finally goes looking for that magic lamp. Back to Uncle Scrooge and his entourage, they continue to be carried by the water current and land on an island. There, Uncle Scrooge is seen very sad because of losing the treasure he had been searching for 40 years. Seeing that, Webby intends to give the magic lamp. However, Uncle Scrooge refuses and will look for that treasure again. In another place, Dijon and Merlock return inside the cave, but unfortunately, Uncle Scrooge and his entourage are no longer there. Until 2 days later, Uncle Scrooge is seen, who has returned home, approached by his assistant to give food and an invitation letter to a dance party. However, Uncle Scrooge, who is still annoyed, then leaves the room.
I can't work, Mrs. Featherby. I'm going home. Sell it!
At the same time, Uncle Scrooge's 4 nephews are also seen eating. Their Webby cleans the magic lamp, making the lamp move. Huey, who is curious, rubs the magic lamp again, until finally a genie comes out. The duck Genie, who has been trapped for 4 centuries, feels very happy because finally he can be free. He then appoints them as new masters because they have released him. They are then given 3 opportunities to make a wish. After discussing for quite a long time, Webby then makes her first wish, namely a pet baby elephant. The genie then says that a big wish can cause big problems too. Besides that, he could be trapped again for thousands of years if a big problem occurs. Until not long after, their maid who is cleaning makes the baby elephant startled and finally makes the room messy. Seeing that, they then make a second request, namely to return the situation to how it was before. And at the moment Uncle Scrooge comes, they are safe from that problem. They then hide the genie inside a room, and at the moment Uncle Scrooge asks what they have done. And at the moment they say that nothing happened, suddenly a voice is heard from the room. And at the moment Uncle Scrooge opens the door, the genie immediately comes out with an appearance like any other small duck. Seeing that, they beg Uncle Scrooge to allow him to stay with them. Seeing the situation is fine, Uncle Scrooge then agrees and leaves from there. After that, the 5 of them play together. Even in the middle of the game, the genie brings down lots of ice cream for them to eat. Long story short, night arrives, and at the moment they are changing clothes to prepare for sleep, suddenly there is a bird shadow, which makes the genie scared. Seeing the genie scared, they say that it is just an owl that comes there every night. The genie then says that formerly he once had a master who was very cruel, where that master was the owner of the magic lamp before it was stolen by Collie Baba. That master was a very evil sorcerer and could turn into anything he wanted. Even his first wish was to live forever. That master always ordered him to do bad things. What is scarier? Again, his master, who is none other than Merlock, possesses a magic talisman that gives him power. If the genie dies that is attached to the magic lamp, then he will have as many wishes as he wants, and that is why the genie is very scared. Hearing that, they then try to calm him down. Until the next day, Merlock and Dijon are seen having arrived at Uncle Scrooge's place. Merlock then turns into a rat to sneak inside that house. Meanwhile, inside, the genie and Uncle Scrooge's 4 nephews are playing. Merlock, who successfully enters inside, then spies on them, and at the moment Merlock is focused, Uncle Scrooge's maid comes from behind and hits Merlock, and Merlock runs away. Back to the genie, who is currently playing with Webby. However, because the genie does not like playing with dolls that are not alive, Webby, who is annoyed, then unconsciously makes a wish to bring those dolls to life. As a result, all those dolls come to life and create chaos. In another place, Uncle Scrooge, who wants to take his hat, instead finds the hat walking by itself, and when he chases the hat he sees a living doll. Long story short, Uncle Scrooge finally finds out about the genie and the magic lamp. Because they are already found out, they then ask for permission to return everything to how it was before. Uncle Scrooge, who is happy because he got a magic lamp, then makes a wish for the genie to bring all the treasure that was stolen that time until it falls on Merlock, who just came from a tiger's stomach.
Money bounty is mine again.
After getting back that treasure, Uncle Scrooge then puts the genie into the magic lamp and goes to the dance party invitation. Arriving there, the genie asks Uncle Scrooge to let him out. After that, Uncle Scrooge hides the genie inside a tree.
Otherwise, you go back in the lamp.
Meanwhile, outside, Merlock and Dijon appear, having arrived at the party event, and accidentally the genie sees Merlock, who is at that place. And at the moment Uncle Scrooge is giving his speech, the genie then pulls Uncle Scrooge because he is afraid of Merlock. As a result, Uncle Scrooge is annoyed and angry with what that genie did. They then hide in a room. Because the door cannot be opened, Merlock turns into a bear. The genie, who is scared, then brings Uncle Scrooge to enter inside the magic lamp. After Merlock and Dijon leave, they then come out. And at the moment that Genie sees Merlock return, Uncle Scrooge then puts the genie into the magic lamp. However, at the moment he is about to go out, Uncle Scrooge, who bumps into a table, unconsciously brings the wrong magic lamp, and the real magic lamp is found by Dijon. Meanwhile, outside, Uncle Scrooge appears picked up by Launchpad, constantly chased by Merlock. Until when he arrives at home, he instead finds the genie together with Dijon. Their Uncle Scrooge finally realizes if he has brought the wrong magic lamp, and Dijon, who has controlled Uncle Scrooge's house, then kicks Uncle Scrooge out and imprisons him. However, not long after that, the employees and 4 nephews come to free Uncle Scrooge with Webby's savings money. Back to Dijon, he enjoys everything. They're very much without knowing Merlock has been stalking him. Short story short, Merlock turns into a cockroach to be able to enter. And on the other side, Uncle Scrooge and the others are making a plan to be able to enter inside that house. Then Uncle Scrooge's 4 nephews enter through a secret door with a password that was already told. Even they have to pass traps to get inside. Meanwhile, Uncle Scrooge enters by going down the elevator rope. However, when he is about to open the door, at the same time Merlock presses the elevator button and makes Uncle Scrooge trapped going up again. However, quickly Uncle Scrooge overcomes that problem and finally can enter inside the house. Uncle Scrooge immediately goes to meet Dijon. Along with that, Merlock also arrives there. At the moment Uncle Scrooge is trying to take the magic lamp, suddenly Merlock succeeds in taking it and uniting the talisman he has with the magic lamp ball. The genie, who has resigned, then grants Merlock's wish, who wants to turn Dijon, because he has betrayed him, into a pig. Then he asks that genie to turn the house into a strong fortress like his palace formerly. At the moment Uncle Scrooge wants to save his money, suddenly everything changes, as well as with Uncle Scrooge's 4 nephews, who finally get trapped because the house is thrown into Merlock's palace. Seeing that, the genie then apologizes to Uncle Scrooge. However, Merlock, who is never satisfied, then asks for his palace to be moved, until making Uncle Scrooge angry. Seeing that, the genie tries to calm him down and tries to beg Merlock, but unfortunately, Merlock does not care and asks that genie to throw Uncle Scrooge. Seeing that, Uncle Scrooge's 4 nephews take action and snatch the magic lamp. However, unfortunately, the lamp falls along with Uncle Scrooge. Seeing that, Merlock transforms and snatches the magic lamp. However, Uncle Scrooge, who does not accept it, then drops Merlock's talisman until making his power disappear and fall down below. Meanwhile, the genie finally becomes Uncle Scrooge's property again. Long story short, Uncle Scrooge's house finally returns to how it was before, as well as with the money and all his treasure. Until at his last wish, Uncle Scrooge asks so that the genie can become a normal duck child like his 4 nephews. As a result, the genie turns into an ordinary duck and the magic lamp is destroyed. And that makes Dijon, who turned into a pig, return to his original form. The genie, who has become a duck child, thanks Uncle Scrooge, and Uncle Scrooge adopts the genie to be his new nephew. After that, they go to play, while Uncle Scrooge chooses to swim inside his money pool. However, when about to jump to swim, he sees Dijon stealing his money. Dijon, who runs away, is then chased by Uncle Scrooge. This movie is basically a masterclass on why greed is a trap and why treating people, even magical genies, like actual friends is the only way to win at life. It contrasts the villain Merlock, who destroys everything for power, with Scrooge and the kids, who learn that real treasure isn't about gold coins or magic wishes, but about compassion and freedom. The biggest takeaway is that having all the money in the world is pointless if you lose your humanity, and sometimes the most heroic thing you can do is give up your biggest prize to save a friend. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video. Adios.